So let's address the footer. And I think since our footer just has a little tiny bit of content in it, basically copyright in the year, maybe it should go down here. So let's work towards that. We'll just keep it in the aside. So we'll go back to our code and we will physically extract the footer and do a cut and a paste into the aside. So it should go right at the bottom of the aside before it closes. So something like that. Give it a couple spaces just so we know it's indented in there. So to get it to fix down to the bottom, we'll take a lesson from the W3 schools, and they have an example of a fixed nav bar, one at the top, one at the bottom. So we'll learn from the bottom one. And again, if you're looking at this stuff and anything doesn't quite make sense here, you're wondering, why does the bottom say 0? Try changing that number in there, like put 20 pixels in there and then click run, and you'll see what it does. That's the position at the bottom that it fixes to. So in our case, we would want 0 again. Let's go ahead and copy this bit of information and paste it into our code. Okay, so on the main CSS, we'll paste this in. And then you can see that it's stuck up from the bottom. That's because we have the 20 pixels in. So we're going to just change that back to 0 and check that out. We can see even in the preview here that something's not working here. See if you can look in here and see if you can figure this out. Pause if you want to try it on your own. I'm about to give the answer right now. Remember, we made the width of this a certain percentage of the browser. So that's what's happening here. Is this is saying going to 100% width of the browser. So we need to change that to 25, and then it'll always be the same as this. As the overall aside changes, so will the copyright. And then we'll add text align center to get the text centered in there, and then we'll need some padding on the top and the bottom. And let's start with this. We can always adjust it later. Do a file save all and check in the browser. All right, so we've got this working for medium to extra large browsers. And what we'll do is go in and make the other pages work now, because I think we just have some total garbage in there right now, and it doesn't go back to the home button. And just keep in mind as well that this is a reminder for us to fix this later, and then we've got to come back, deal with the colors, put the copyright symbol, and so on. But first of all, let's get the pages to work. So what we're going to do is save out a copy of our index page. And it's important to make sure that you are on the index page in case you had anything else open, like I have this test thing, ignore that open. But make sure it's on index.html and make sure it's on source code. Then go File, Save As, and then it should open up the current folder that you've assigned in Dreamweaver. And let's go ahead and click on Portfolio so that it overwrites the current portfolio page. And then let's just put some placeholder text in here. We'll change this W2 and just call that portfolio placeholder. And we'll keep this text in here just kind of as placeholder text, but let's get rid of this annoying H1 tag. And then now let's make the navigation work. So we need to move this class of active to the portfolio, since that's what page we would be on. So we'll just do some cutting and pasting. So portfolio is set to active, and then we need to give an address for the home page. So I just copied from contact, but we need to change this to index. Be real careful cutting and pasting here. It's easy to leave off a bracket, so test often when you do it. And speaking of, we'll go back to the index page and we'll do a save all, preview in the browser, and now we can see the home and portfolio is working. The colors change when you're on the appropriate page. So now all we have to do is go back in. May as well start from the portfolio page since it has the home page working correctly, and do a file save as. Save that as the contact page. Replace it. Put some placeholder text in there like that, and then we'll go up here and basically flip-flop what's going on here between the contact and the portfolio. And that should look something like that. And if we save all, preview in the browser, we will see that now all of the pages go to every other page. The page that we're on changes color. For now, we'll leave these goofy colors in here just still for troubleshooting, or just see how the padding works if we need any more. But the next step will be to actually put a portfolio, and for that we'll use Bootstrap technology.